Yeah. There's not really like there's a little bit of class fantasy in each of the sets, but they're still kind of homogenized in a way, right? It's like everyone's wearing the same uniform, right? Everyone goes to the same Catholic high school, but they've all found ways to just slightly modify their uniform. But in the end, they're all wearing the same gray pants with the same white shirt. You know? Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jedith, and yes, I'm here with another video. I know I've been throwing a lot of videos at you the past couple days, but there's a lot to cover. So today we're going to be looking at the Data Mined Demon Hunter class/tier set for the first raid in Dragonflight. We saw concept art of this a while back, but now we actually have data mined in-game versions of the set. So we're going to take a look at that today. But before we look at it, I want to remind you that I am doing a giveaway for an epic version of Dragonflight. If you would like to win it, all you have to do is leave a comment on one of my newer videos, any video posted in the month of July, and just make sure you're subbed to the YouTube channel. You do have to be subbed with the bell notification on, and you can leave one comment per video, and that counts as one entry each. So if you want to get a free epic version of Dragonflight, make sure you follow those instructions, leave a comment, sub to the channel, and I'll pick the winner at the end of the month. So let's dive into it. We're going to look at the new Demon Hunter class set. Let me pull up the article here on Wowhead. There we go. So this is it. Demon Hunter Primalist class tier set. Early look into Dragonflight Vault of the Incarnates raid. The Primalist class tier set will drop in the Vault of the Incarnates Dragonflight raid, and we're continuing our tier set model previews with an early look at the Demon Hunter tier set model. Previously, Blizzard released concept art of the tier sets during the Dragonflight expansion reveal, which was generally well regarded by the player base, who enjoyed the elemental crystals and other unique details. However, there's always a concern that the finer details of the concept art may not always look the same in the finished product. With Dragonflight Alpha data mining starting today, we can now take a look at the in-game models for the tier sets and compare them to the concept art. How well do you think they hold up? So this is it. So, first of all, yes, this is on a human. So, of course, it's not going to look very Demon Hunter-y. It's a human. We're used to seeing things on either a Blood Elf or a Night Elf. So it's going to look a little clunkier than normal. But other than that, I think it's okay. It will look very, very different on a more slender model, a more slender silhouette, right? The one thing that I'm not certain on, there's a couple things. The first thing is the helmet. Now, I get what they're going for with the concept of like covering the eyes, right? That's a very Demon Hunter thing. We're blind. We don't need our eyes, right? So of course they're going to be covered. But I just feel like the shoulders come up high and the headpiece is very short. So it looks like you have no neck. You're just kind of like a beetle, you know? But again, we also don't have our Demon Hunter horns. Those would add a little bit of height to the headpiece. So that could add to it. And I also want to point out that this is probably like a normal version of this tier set. Generally, like when we're shown these sets, they don't show us the mythic set or the best looking set. They usually start with the beginner, the entry level one. That's what they did with the Sanctum of Domination. No. Sepulchre of the First One set. They showed us the LFR sets. And then, once the raid actually came out, we saw all the other variants. And, I mean, they did get a little cooler. But, even still, like, with the Sepulchre set, I'm not completely, like, enamored by it. I think it's okay. But, I have some other thoughts about this whole kind of like theme and style. This was the concept art that was pitched to us. So if we compare this to what we get here, I think generally they were on the right track. I think with this model, of course, it is a more slender silhouette. This is obviously a night elf or a blood elf. I think it's probably a blood elf right here. And you have the horns. The other thing is that this is a red variant. So we can probably assume that the mythic one is going to be red. And yeah, I mean, if we get something like this, once we equip this gear, if it looks something like this, I think I would be okay with that. But this looks, I don't know. I'm not sold on the kind of lavender type of color. Again, not sold on the head. The boots are weird. The boots look like they just took a bunch of rocks from the ground and glued them to their feet. It's like the gloves are super thick, right? The handpiece is thick as hell. But then you got these little tiny feet here. The evoker one looks super cool. I feel like the evoker one has a bit more maybe thought put into it than the demon hunter one. I'm not sure there's anything particular about this set that, you know, makes me think demon hunter other than the horns, but the horns aren't even part of the set. You know, each kind of class gets their own unique sort of signifying thing that shows you what class it is. So there's that. Now I know this is supposed to be a demon hunter set video, but I just want to show you guys this as well. This was an image that was going around earlier with previews of every class. So we can use this as a reference to see if we think we got the short end of the stick here, right? So tier sets starting from top to left. Row 1. This is Mage. I think Mage looks pretty good. From what I can remember, Mage sets usually have those legs that have the dangly things on them, like big elemental shards like that. And this is, of course, a kind of like a battle mage type of set. There's no robe here. I mean, I think every class is going to have their own opinion on this, of whether they got shafted or not. You know, you might think that one class is super cool. Like you might see the warrior one and be like, oh, that's sick. But warriors themselves might not like it. So it's hard to say. But the Death Knight one, I think, is probably one of the cooler ones. This second one right here. The shoulders really stand out. The headpiece has these crazy, like, crystalline horns. The rest of the set is pretty basic, but they have those, like, you know, unique features in the head and the shoulders. The hunter, again, it's just very, it's more of the same, you know? And by more of the same, I mean the same of every other set. And I think that's the problem with the way that they're approaching these tier sets in these, you know, most recent raids. This raid and Sepulchre, the first ones, it's like everything is very homogenized in color palette, in feel. It's kind of just like different shapes on the different classes, which I don't necessarily like. I loved back in the day, and I know I'm being picky because we finally got our class sets back, right? But I loved back in the day that each class was incredibly unique in what their class set looked like. Like, they weren't all the same color. You didn't have to, like, stop. Okay, what shape are the shoulders that this person is wearing? Oh, they're that shape? Okay, so that's a hunter. You know, you could more easily tell back in the day. It was like, oh, these shoulders have blinking eyes on them. Okay, that's a hunter, you know? So maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my opinion. Maybe I'm being too picky, but I feel like conceptually, sure, they're interesting, but like individually, they don't have enough individuality for them to really stand out. The next one we can look at here is Evoker. Of course, this is a red variant. Everything else is sort of that lavender kind of gray color. And I think that's just because this is probably a higher rank. This is probably a mythic set or a heroic set. Then we have priest here. The priest one is pretty unique comparatively, right? Again, it has the same thing as the Death Knight, just okay, the Death Knight is okay, the Death Knight's like solid crystal, right? The priest is ethereal, like smoke. Same sort of shape, right? Shoulders pointed out, headpiece, antler type thing. It's just slightly different. The monk reminds me of like a Battle of Desire lore type of set, right? Kind of like Bones in a way. And then of course they have their signature monk balls hanging off them. Exposed feet, exposed hands. Yeah, I don't love it. Next on this second row we have Shaman. Now again, this is a different color variant. This is yellow or orange, so we can probably assume that we're gonna have that color for all of these sets as well. And I think the Shaman one just looks like an elemental. I thought the Shaman would have something really cool this tier because of the theme of the raid. It's very primal, you know. The raid is called Vault of the Incarnates, Primal Incarnates. So, and then the Warrior one, again, this is very similar to the Sepulchre Warrior set. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Geometrical, I guess. Yeah, you look like a fucking rock. And then we have, this is supposedly Paladin. Any set that has this human goofy ass face peeking through the helmet just ruins it for me. So unfortunately, I'm not a fan of this one. Yeah, it's kind of boring to me. It's just boring. The next one is Druid. Historically, the Druids have had some pretty cool ones. This one, unfortunately, I don't think it's doing much of anything for me. And that comes as no surprise, obviously, because I don't really like any of these. So, yeah. The Warlock, I don't know what's going on here. I think this is just a mismatch when it comes to Wowhead data mining. They have a red helmet and then everything else is that lavender color. But, I mean, at least with the Warlocks, they have something unique in the horns and sort of the cowl with the skull underneath. Kind of unique. But really the leg part is pretty similar to the mage up here, right? Pretty similar, kind of the same thing. And then the demon hunter, you know where I stand on that. And then rogue. Again, it's just like, it's fine. It's fine, but what about this screams rogue to you? Other than like the sort of, you know, mouth cover type of thing. I guess that's something a rogue would wear, like a you know, a bandana type of thing. But I guess like a bandage type wrappings underneath, that's kind of rogue-esque. But yeah, I mean, that's where I stand on that. Of course, once we actually get these in-game, once people have them, you'll see them and there will be the prestige attached to them. So of course you're going to view them a little bit differently once they're in-game. They'll feel different because you'll have, say, the normal or the heroic set, and then you'll see somebody with the mythic set and you'll be like, oh, that's so sick, I wish I had that set. When realistically, you don't really care about the armor set. You don't think it looks that cool. You're just attracted to the prestige that comes with it. But anyways, guys, this is the Demon Hunter set. That's what this video was supposed to be about. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you like this? Are you excited to get this? What do you think? What parts of this set don't you like? What do you like? Do you think it's going to look better on a Night Elf or a Blood Elf? And do you think the different color variations are going to help? And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. That's all I got for today. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like this video if you liked it. Sub to the channel. Dragonflight Epic Edition giveaway is happening till the end of the month. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.